Hello you guys to the YouTube universe and welcome to the first episode of Carsyn's ChitChat. In this segment, I can answer all your questions that you posted on YouTube and Facebook, and I can answer them all one by one. So, let's get started. First off is Chelsea Matthews. Now, you may not know this, but she is my neighbor. And Chelsea, if you're watching this, hi. The first question she writes, when did you start drawing? Well, it was back in my preschool years, back in 2001, is when I first started drawing. The second one says, what/who is your favorite to draw? Well, Mickey Mouse, of course. Back in the 1920s, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was Disney's first cartoon after Mickey Mouse came in. Third one says, have you considered making your own cartoon? Well, kind of. Maybe I could make my very own comic strip series to put in the newspaper. And it's called... I haven't thought of the name yet, but I will try my best soon. 4 says, who's your favorite neighbor? Well, to start off, you, Terry, Tim, Lil Pup Maggie Lou, and our woodworking neighbor, Kenny, from across the street. Question 5 says, how many years have you been drawing? 15. You know, it's been a long time since I can remember when I first started drawing, but I can't. Number 6 says, do you get nervous when drawing with a marker because you can't erase? Well, not exactly. You know, if I make one mistake, I can just get blank white out, and if it doesn't work out, I can just crumple it up and throw away in the trash. 7 says, what is your all-time favorite picture you have drawn? Can we see it? Well, you can, because my favorite drawing is the biggest all-star Muppet characters created by Jim Henson drawing. And this drawing took me 5 years to finish it. Oh, looky there! It's right over there. And here it is. As you can see here, these are all of the characters seen from the Muppet Show, Sesame Street, and Fraggle Rock. Number 8 says, what inspired you to make your YouTube videos? Brian Hall. When I saw one of his videos for the first time, I was laughing my head off. And Brian, if you're watching this video, don't forget to subscribe, man. On 9, what are some of your other hobbies/activities you like to do when you're not drawing? Well, I would just like to say, driving my GC. If you want to know what GC stands for, it's a golf cart. And editing on my Pages app. 10, what is your favorite color? Red, the color of passion. And 11, what is your favorite food? Pizza. It doesn't matter what kind of toppings I have on it. It could be pepperoni, sausage, bacon, banana pepper, spinach, and all that kind of stuff. Dina Wolf writes, how is your golf cart running? And will you ever have guests on your segments? Well, Dina, I would like to say, yes, my golf cart is running fine, but there's one problem. Every time I start it, it always has a rough beginning. It always goes, and I found a solution to smooth out the engine. There's this little button right next to my left leg. Every time I press it, it always smooths the engine off. And off I go in it. And yes, maybe I could have some guests on my segments someday. But there is one funny little thing that you might not believe. I would like to have real guest stars for my segments. The ones that are still alive, like Richard Sherman, and Tim Conway or John Cleese, the ones that are still alive, like I already mentioned. And most of all, I would like to have them for my segments. But if you know any of them, tell them I said hi and maybe I could see them for my segments. Buddy Sam's writes, will you ever draw any other characters besides Disney? And what other interests do you have? Wacky dude. Well, I'm glad you asked. Sorry. Well, I'm glad you asked that, buddy. Well, maybe I can draw other characters like Kermit or Big Bird from the Muppets in my next Drawing with Carsyn segment. But my interests are driving my GC all around the circle. Tony Love says, do you remember watching Joel's VHS Disney movies? And did these inspire you to draw Disney characters? Well, I don't know if they did or didn't, but I'm gonna have to say, Well, I hope all of you enjoyed the first episode of Carsyn's ChitChat. I know I haven't answered all of your questions, but I had to answer a few to fit them all in this episode here. Okay? Make sure you leave some more questions for me to put in the second episode of Carsyn's ChitChat from Facebook and YouTube, okay? Before I say goodbye, I would just like to say one thing. My brother and mother developed a Facebook page called Carsyn's Autistic Studios, where you can view and purchase some of my artwork. Be on the lookout for it in the future. This is Carsyn Cuddy saying goodbye. Or as Waldorf and Stetler would say, well, Stetler, did you like the picture that he drew? Are you kidding? We didn't see ourselves in it. And most of all, I would like to put him out of the picture.